The ruins unveiled. In the vastness of space, Captain Zorks of the alien ship Intrepid stood on the bridge, transfixed by the spectacle before him. The scanners had detected an anomaly, remnants of an ancient fleet orbiting a desolate planet. As Zorks gazed at the wreckage, a chill ran through him. The ships, though battered and broken, were unmistakably human. A civilization long believed to be technologically inferior to the Galactic Federation. The discovery of the human fleet's advanced design left Zorks and his crew stunned. The smooth aerodynamic hulls and oversized fusion engines indicated a level of technological sophistication far beyond what they had believed possible for humanity. As the away team prepared to explore the surface, Zorks's mind raced with questions. How had humanity developed such technology in secret? And what had led to their downfall? On the planet's surface, the away team found a haunting scene. Twisted metal and scorched earth marked the site of a catastrophic battle. Captain Zorks listened intently as the team reported back, their voices echoing through the silent void of space. The humans had fought valiantly against an unknown enemy, but the details remained shrouded in mystery. Among the ruins, the team discovered fragments of logs and transmissions, hinting at a fierce and desperate conflict. One particular log caught Zorks's attention. It was from the fleet commander, a human who spoke of an existential threat and a decision to protect humanity's secrets at all costs. The message ended with a chilling vow to never bow to tyranny, even at the cost of their own destruction. The implications were staggering. Humanity had once possessed the power to challenge the very foundations of the Galactic Federation. As the data poured in, Zorks felt a growing sense of unease. The humans had established this fleet in secret, safeguarding advanced technologies that could alter the balance of power in the galaxy. But they weren't alone in their struggle. The logs mentioned a terrifying enemy, the Kreks, a race of ruthless conquerors known for their brutality and technological prowess. The Kreks had sought to seize the human technology, but the humans had chosen self-destruction over surrender. The resulting battle had left both sides decimated, with the Kreks vanishing from history and humanity's secret buried among the stars. Now, with this discovery, the past was being unearthed, and the consequences could be dire. Zorks knew that this revelation would send shockwaves through the Galactic Federation. The fragile peace that had been maintained for centuries could be shattered by fear and paranoia. As he stood on the bridge, the weight of the galaxy seemed to rest on his shoulders. He had a decision to make, one that could change the course of history. The shadow of the Kreds. Zorks's discovery did not remain a secret for long. The news spread quickly, igniting controversy and speculation across the galaxy. Accusations flew, with some claiming the Intrepid's crew had fabricated the evidence, while others feared that humanity's resurgence could disrupt the delicate balance of power. As tensions rose, Zorks and his crew delved deeper into the data they had recovered. The Kreks, once a dominant force in the galaxy, had vanished after their conflict with humanity. Historical records were scarce, but the Kreks were remembered as planet killers, beings capable of wiping out entire civilizations. Zorks's science officer, Velix, provided what little information they had. The Kreds had disappeared suddenly, leaving behind a legacy of fear and destruction. Some believed they had been defeated by an unknown adversary, while others speculated they had retreated to the darkest corners of space. As Zorks pondered the implications, a message arrived, encrypted and untraceable. It promised information about the Kreds and the human fleet, but only if Zorks came alone. The coordinates led to a remote, uninhabited system. Despite the risks, Zorks knew he had to investigate. The truth about humanity's past and the threat of the Kreds could hold the key to the galaxy's future. In the dead of night, Zorks departed in a personal shuttle, accompanied only by 2 trusted security officers. As they approached the designated coordinates, a barren, lifeless planet loomed into view. Zorks's heart pounded with anticipation and dread. They landed on a rocky plain, the silence oppressive in the thin atmosphere. A group of figures emerged from the shadows, heavily armed and wary. Their leader, a grizzled warrior named Rexer, introduced himself and revealed a startling truth. The Kreks had not been defeated. They had merely gone into hiding, biding their time, and plotting their revenge. Rexer and his comrades were part of a resistance, fighting to thwart the Kreks' plans. Rexer explained that the Kreks harbored a deep hatred for humanity, stemming from their humiliation at human hands. Now, with the discovery of the ancient fleet, the Kreks would be more determined than ever to eradicate any trace of humanity. The only way to prevent their resurgence, Rexer insisted, was to destroy all evidence of the human technology. Zorks grappled with the moral dilemma. Destroying knowledge was antithetical to everything he believed in, yet the threat posed by the Kreks was too great to ignore. Rexer's warning was clear. The galaxy was on the brink of war, and only decisive action could prevent catastrophe. The war begins. Returning to the Intrepid, Zorks felt the weight of his decision pressing down on him. He had agreed to Rexer's terms, but the path ahead was fraught with danger. The Kreks were a formidable enemy, and the Galactic Federation was unprepared for their return. As Zorks addressed his crew, he outlined their mission: to locate and destroy the components of the human weapon hidden across the galaxy. The humans had scattered these components in secret caches, each one vital to the weapon's completion. Zork's crew would need to find them all, racing against time and the ever-present threat of the Kreks. The first cache lay on a planet orbiting a red giant star. The journey there was tense, the crew acutely aware of the stakes. As they neared their destination, the atmosphere aboard the Intrepid grew somber. The planet's harsh environment, scorching heat, and crushing pressure would make the retrieval mission perilous. Upon landing, the away team donned protective suits and ventured out onto the planet's molten surface. The landscape was alien and hostile, a testament to the harshness of the galaxy. Despite the danger, the team pressed on, determined to secure the first piece of the weapon. Back on the ship, Zorks monitored their progress, his heart heavy with the knowledge of what they were attempting to prevent. The Kreks, with their superior technology and ruthless tactics, posed an existential threat to all sentient life. If they succeeded in obtaining the human technology, the galaxy would be plunged into darkness. The team located the cache, a small, heavily shielded bunker buried beneath layers of rock and metal. Inside, they found a fragment of the weapon, an energy core unlike anything they had seen before. As they carefully extracted it, alarms blared, indicating an incoming Kreg ship. The race was on. The team scrambled back to the Intrepid, the energy core safely in tow. As the Intrepid lifted off, the Kreg ship descended, its dark, organic hull a menacing sight against the fiery landscape. Zorks ordered an immediate jump to warp, the ship leaping into the safety of faster-than-light travel. The first piece of the weapon was secured, but the journey was far from over. Zorks knew they had only bought themselves time. The Kreks would not rest until they had destroyed every remnant of human technology. As the Intrepid hurtled through space, Zorks and his crew steeled themselves for the battles to come. Allies and enemies. The Intrepid's journey continued, each new discovery bringing them closer to understanding the true scope of the human technology and the Kreks' threat. As they searched for the remaining caches, Zorks sought allies, reaching out to other species within the Galactic Federation. The response was mixed. Some, like the peaceful Draxians, offered support, recognizing the need to stand united against a common threat. Others, however, were more hesitant, wary of the implications of Zorks' mission, and fearful of the potential fallout. Tensions within the Galactic Federation escalated, with political factions arguing over the best course of action. Some advocated for an immediate strike against the Kreks, while others urged caution, fearing that a preemptive attack could provoke a devastating war. Amidst the chaos, Zorks remained steadfast, determined to protect the galaxy from the looming threat. During one of their missions, the Intrepid encountered a fleet of ships from the Zolnari, a race known for their advanced technology and formidable combat skills. The Zolnari, however, were not interested in forming an alliance. They saw the Kregs as a potential threat to their own dominance and were prepared to take drastic measures to eliminate it. Captain Zorks met with the Zolnari leader, Admiral Tikar, in a tense negotiation. Tikar proposed a joint operation to locate and secure the remaining components of the human weapon, but with a crucial caveat. The Zolnari would control the technology, ensuring that it would not fall into the wrong hands. Zorks was torn. The Zolnari's resources and expertise would be invaluable, but he was wary of their intentions. The power of the human technology was immense, and in the wrong hands, it could become a weapon of tyranny. Zorks ultimately refused Tikar's offer, choosing to continue the mission on the Intrepid's own terms. The decision proved costly. The Zolnari, angered by Zorks' refusal, vowed to pursue their own path, potentially leading to a three-way conflict between the Federation, the Kregs, and the Zolnari. As the Intrepid continued its quest, the threat of war loomed ever larger, and Zorks faced increasing pressure from both allies and enemies. The final stand. As the Intrepid neared the final cache, the crew's morale was stretched to its limit. The relentless pursuit by Kregs' forces, the uncertainty of their mission, and the looming specter of galactic war weighed heavily on everyone. Zorks knew that they were nearing a critical juncture. The last piece of the human weapon could not fall into the wrong hands. The final cache was located on an abandoned space station, orbiting a gas giant in a remote sector. As the Intrepid approached, they detected multiple Kreg ships converging on their location. It was a trap, but there was no turning back. The fate of the galaxy hinged on their success. The away team, led by Zorks, boarded the station under heavy fire. The Kregs were relentless, their advanced weaponry outmatching the Federation's technology. Zorks and his team fought valiantly, making their way through the dark, claustrophobic corridors of the station. The final cache was located in a heavily fortified chamber, guarded by Kreg soldiers. In a desperate battle, Zorks and his team managed to breach the chamber, but not without heavy losses. The last piece of the weapon was within their grasp, but so were the Kreg's forces, closing in on all sides. In a moment of grim determination, Zorks made the ultimate decision. The weapon could not be allowed to exist, not in the hands of the Kregs, nor anyone else. Using the station's self-destruct mechanism, Zorks set a countdown. As the team evacuated, Zorks stayed behind, ensuring that the weapon was destroyed. The station erupted in a blinding explosion, the shockwave rippling through space. The Intrepid barely escaped the blast, limping away with its surviving crew. The mission had succeeded, but at a great cost. The weapon was gone, but the Krek's threat remained. The galaxy was safe, for now, but the specter of the Kregs' return loomed ever larger. As Captain Zorks stood on the bridge of the Intrepid, he reflected on the journey and the sacrifices made. The galaxy had been saved from one threat, but the future remained uncertain. The Kregs were still out there, and the fragile peace of the Galactic Federation hung in the balance. Zorks knew that the road ahead would be difficult, but he was determined to face it head-on. The crew of the Intrepid had proven their courage and resilience, and Zorks vowed to continue fighting for the galaxy's future. As the ship set course for home, Zorks felt a glimmer of hope amidst the darkness. The war was far from over, but the first battle had been won. Unseen threats. Returning to Federation space, the Intrepid and its crew were hailed as heroes. Captain Zorks received commendations for his bravery and leadership, but beneath the surface, tension simmered. The destruction of the human weapon had averted immediate disaster, but it also raised new questions and fears about the Kregs' intentions and capabilities. In the wake of the mission, Zorks and his crew faced debriefings and inquiries. Federation leaders were divided on how to respond to the ongoing threat. Some advocated for strengthening defenses and pursuing diplomacy, while others called for aggressive measures to track down and eliminate the remaining Kregs forces. Amidst this uncertainty, Zorks found himself thrust into a new role. His experience with the Kregs and the secret human technology made him a central figure in the Federation's efforts to understand and counter the alien threat. The crew of the Intrepid was retasked with gathering intelligence and forging alliances with other species. During a diplomatic mission to the Seraphine system, Zorks encountered a surprise ally, a former Kregs operative named Leora, who had defected from her people. Leora revealed that the Kregs were divided, with factions vying for control. Some sought to resume their campaign of conquest, while others, disillusioned by their leaders, sought a different path. Leora warned Zorks of a hidden Kregs base deep within uncharted space, where a rogue faction was developing a new superweapon. This weapon, capable of harnessing dark energy, posed a threat greater than anything the galaxy had faced before. If completed, it could annihilate entire star systems, leaving nothing but void. Into the void. With this new intelligence, the Intrepid embarked on a mission of utmost urgency. The crew was resolute, understanding the gravity of their task. Zorks led the ship into uncharted regions, relying on Leora's knowledge to navigate the dangerous territory. The journey tested the crew's endurance and resolve, as they faced numerous challenges, from treacherous space anomalies to hostile encounters with Kregs patrols. As they neared the coordinates of the Kregs base, the Intrepid encountered a massive field of space debris, wreckage from ancient battles and lost civilizations. This graveyard of ships served as a chilling reminder of the Kregs' destructive past. Among the debris, they found signs of recent activity, indicating that the rogue faction was indeed operating in the area. The Intrepid approached the hidden base under the cover of a stealth field, a risky maneuver given the base's formidable defenses. The crew prepared for a daring assault, aiming to disable the base's defenses and sabotage the superweapon before it could be completed. Zorks, along with a select team, infiltrated the base, navigating its labyrinthine corridors. Inside, they encountered fierce resistance. The Kregs defenders were heavily armed and fanatically loyal to their cause. The team pressed on, determined to reach the superweapon's core. In the heart of the base, they found the weapon, a massive, ominous structure pulsing with dark energy. The device was nearly operational, and time was running out. In a desperate battle, Zorks and his team fought their way to the control room. They faced the rogue faction's leader, a charismatic and ruthless Kregs commander who believed the weapon was the key to restoring Kregs' dominance. The confrontation was intense, with Zorks appealing to the Kregs' sense of self-preservation and Leora's pleas for peace. Ultimately, the commander refused to surrender. In a final decisive act, Zorks triggered the base's self-destruct mechanism, mirroring the events at the abandoned space station. The team barely escaped as the base erupted in a catastrophic explosion, the shockwave obliterating the superweapon and the rogue faction with it. A new dawn. The destruction of the Kregs base marked a turning point in the struggle against the alien threat. The rogue faction's elimination destabilized the Kregs, leading to internal turmoil and a weakening of their offensive capabilities. Federation forces, bolstered by new alliances, moved to secure the region and prevent further Kregs aggression. Back on the Intrepid, the crew celebrated their hard-earned victory. The mission had been perilous, and the losses were significant, but the threat of the Kregs superweapon was finally neutralized. Captain Zorks reflected on the journey, the sacrifices made, and the uncertain future that lay ahead. The Federation, while victorious, faced new challenges. The revelation of humanity's hidden technological legacy, the resurgence of the Kregs, and the involvement of powerful factions like the Zolnari had reshaped the political landscape. Debates raged over the Federation's future direction, with some advocating for greater military readiness and others calling for a focus on diplomacy and reconstruction. Captain Zorks, now a prominent figure within the Federation, used his influence to promote cooperation and understanding. He worked tirelessly to forge alliances and rebuild trust among the galaxy's diverse species. The lessons of the past, of hidden threats and unchecked ambitions, served as a guiding light in his efforts to ensure a stable and peaceful future. In the end, the galaxy was left with a fragile but hopeful peace. The Kreks, their power fractured, retreated into the shadows, their fate uncertain. The Federation, united by the shared experience of crisis and survival, stood poised to face whatever challenges the future might bring. As the Intrepid set course for home, its crew looked to the stars with a renewed sense of purpose. The galaxy was vast and full of mysteries, but they knew that together, they could face any challenge. Captain Zorks, with the weight of the galaxy's future still on his shoulders, remained committed to his mission. He understood that peace was not merely the absence of conflict, but the presence of justice and understanding. And so, he vowed to continue his work, seeking to build a galaxy where all species could coexist in harmony.